It's all coming to an end. Finally, the 2019-20 season is finishing, even though 2020/2021 has technically started. I'm buzzing though, as I believe it will mark the end to what has been a really weird period of football. All hail the new era and what is to come. Fans are finally being allowed back in grounds in the lower leagues of English football. Barring a second wave of the Mexican beer virus, this is surely step one on the road back to normality. Before we get into it guys, this is my 50th video. If you're enjoying them, please hit the like button, it helps me create more content. Also subscribe if you're new, I'm so close to hitting 5,000 subscribers, so help me out, you won't regret it, I promise. For me, the 2019-20 season started back in Thessaloniki in Greece. My first European game since starting Footy Adventures, and I saw PAOK Thessaloniki beat Offi Crete 5-0 in the Greek Cup. I never would have thought the season would have taken this long to finish, but here we are. Fast forward 7 months, I've been to one match, and that was recently in Penrith. You can see that video, I'll leave a link to it down below. It was behind closed doors, but they were kind enough to let me in to film it so their fans could see what the game was like, but hopefully normality is fast approaching. It was a weird spring and summer for me, but I did try and create as much content as possible. Quite disappointingly though, I did have tickets for Euro 2020, but that has now been pushed back to 2021. It was an unprecedented season of football, with Liverpool lifting the Premier League after 30 long years inside an empty Kop. Arteta proved his doubters wrong and impressively lifted the FA Cup in front of no fans at Wembley. Not being able to celebrate these moments with the fans will feel like a missed opportunity. And moving on from that, VAR was obviously a big talking point. No more so than the first game back after the restart. VAR, which can't overrule goal line technology, literally couldn't do anything about Sheffield United's goal against Aston Villa, or the goal that never was, should I say. The ball clearly crossed the line, Villa ended up staying up, and Sheffield United unfortunately missed out on European football. Just imagine how things could have turned out if that goal would have counted. Goal line technology company Hawkeye blamed occlusion, which is a bit of a disgrace if you ask me, especially for Watford, who went down as Villa just stayed up. So who were the biggest winners and losers? Winners? Well, no one really. Yes, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Leeds, West Brom, Fulham, they are all technically winners and they had great results this season. But without being able to celebrate properly, these feats will leave a bittersweet taste for the players, as these are like once-in-a-lifetime opportunities during their careers. Especially the winners of the Premier League, especially, you know, Arteta's first season, Leeds getting promoted. These are such huge stories and they're so historic and momentous that the fact that they've missed out on celebrating with the fans, it must just be devastating for the players. Losers, Watford, I mean, you have to feel sorry for them with what we spoke about earlier, but they did sack their manager with like 2 games to go. And Brentford, it looks as if they'd go up, but they're going to have to wait yet another year to try and secure Premier League football. The Europa League finished just a few days ago, and what a game that was. The kings of Europe's secondary competition, Sevilla, they lifted it for a 6th time. They'll be joining the big boys in pot 1 of next season's Champions League. Well, this season's, you know what I mean. Speaking of which, PSG and Bayern Munich play each other today in the Champions League final. Either PSG win it for the first time, or Bayern Munich join the 6th club with Liverpool, as they've won it 5 times previously. So yeah, it'll be massive for Bayern to reach that 6th club, but also for PSG. They've never won it before, so it'll be their first ever time, and it'll only be the 2nd time ever that a French team wins the European Cup. I think there'll be goals, but there's something just telling me that PSG are going to edge it slightly. Bayern were expected to beat Chelsea back in 2012. Chelsea and their billionaire owner were hunting European glory for the first ever time, and there's similarities between them and PSG, and I reckon that's why the French champions will just edge it this year. Even if I'm wrong, it's going to be huge for either club either way. But it will just be good to see this season finally wrapped up. Next season's official curtain raiser, the Community Shield, will be played next week. FA Cup winners Arsenal will take on English champions Liverpool. I predict a Liverpool win after the disappointment they faced when they played City in the same competition last season. Arsenal though are very used to the new Wembley and could be a force now that Mikel Arteta has had a long time with the team. That's the Community Shield, but what about other competitions? Here are my predictions for the 2020-21 season. Premier League winners Liverpool, I do think they will go on to win it again. I think they'll be so determined to win it again and to celebrate it properly with the fans. To be relegated, unfortunately, I think Sheffield United will go down. Yes, they did great this season just gone by, but second season syndrome is a thing. I'm not sure they've strengthened enough, and I believe they'll drop down. Fulham, a bit of a yo-yo club. They weren't able to stay up in the Premier League last time they were in, and I can't see Scott Parker keeping them up. I do think he'll get sacked midway through the season, although fair play to him if he does keep them up. I think he could do a good job, but I'm not sure, a bit of a yo-yo team. He is a young manager, so the potential is there, but I think Fulham will go down. Newcastle, again, without any solid investment, I can see them going down. With an owner like Mike Ashley who doesn't want to invest anything into the club, and without them being able to get a new owner in, which has been the talk of the summer, honestly, I think it's a matter of time before this team goes down. This squad, I mean, Steve Bruce has done brilliantly to keep them up already last season, but just with like a bad injury, or if they sell a player that's key to them, St. Maximum's obviously a great player who's been touted by other clubs. And even if this team, the cycle of it gets a bit old and a few of the older players start to flag a little bit, I can't see anyone there to step in place for them. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before Newcastle go down, and unfortunately I think it's this season, which is such a shame because they are such a massive club and they deserve to be in the Premier League and to be competing in Europe. Champions League winners, I still think it's way too early to say, but I think Inter Milan could be a good shout. A final loss against the one that they had against Sevilla could kickstart a fire within this team. Conte's an amazing manager too, and I sometimes don't think he gets the credit he deserves. I wouldn't put money on Inter Milan myself though, and I would say Man City. I think they'll end the hoodoo in the coming season, and if they don't, I can see Pep Guardiola finally leaving. FA Cup winners, let's face it, probably Arsenal. Carabao Cup winners, is it even called Carabao Cup anymore? Capital One, Carling Cup, League Cup, you know what I mean. Probably going to be Man City again, isn't it? I briefly mentioned Euro 2020 earlier, and Euro 2021 should be an unbelievable tournament. I should have been going in 2020, but that does just give me more opportunity to plan for next year. I want to go to a few games as well as visit the fan parks. Hopefully by then I can get back on the road and get more travelling done. I want to hit up a game in the UK and then head to fan parks in, I don't know, Bilbao, Budapest, Amsterdam. It's got the makings of an amazing tournament since it's being held in so many different countries. Anyway, my plans aside, it's time to pick a winner. It's going to be tough, but the final's being played in Wembley, so if England can get that far, then there'll be a massive advantage for us. I do find it hard to look past world champions France though. Can Kylian Mbappe repeat his heroics from 2018 and 2021? I think he probably can. So yeah, just a quick recap on the 2019-2020 season, as well as my thoughts on 2020-2021. How many times can I say 20 in a sentence? Please leave your comments below on who you think will win the Premier League, Champions League and Euros for next season. Who knows, in a year's time when I look back on this video, I might give you a shout out for being a football genius. I've got loads more videos coming soon, so keep an eye out for them and make sure to follow me on Instagram for real-time updates. Thanks everyone, you lot are the best. I really appreciate you watching these videos. I'll see you all again in the next one.